guys, welcome back to another Last Nerf video. So in today's one, we're going to be checking out the best modifications for Glock and which ones you should focus on, which one is more important, which one is trash, which one is good, and the cost of making these weapon modifications, guys. So let's first get started with me finishing the final modification that I needed. This is the modification that I need to build right now, green laser, and this modification is a must to have. Boom, green laser is now finished, guys, and it is going to give us more damage, crit chance, range. Very nice. Let's put it on, save it, and there you go. Now when I click this button right here, it's going to apply basically all the mods. Basically, let's unmod it. As you can see, when I press this backpack or when I press this arrow, it's going to modify only that weapon like that. Or if you press the backpack, it's going to modify everything. So we got all the best mods for Glock. We're missing only one, and that one could be either red dot on mount or close red dot sight. You will need both of these modifications. If you don't have them, then just focus on getting any of these, night sight or red dot. Okay, now let's go through which mods are the best. The mods, the best that you need to focus on is red dot on mount or close red dot sight. The best one, which does the most damage, is red dot on mount. The power shot, it does a little bit less because it has crit damage, but it doesn't give you crit chance, as this one gives so much crit chance. So you'll be basically doing more crit damage than with this one. However, these both mods are almost identical because the active ability is pretty good. So it's up to you which one you use, but this one does the most damage. And this one does a little bit less, but it has a great active ability. So does this have a great active ability. The best magazine, extended magazine, not arguing. Silencer is the best. Muzzle, elite shutter is the best, and the green laser is the best. That's it. Now let's get to which mods you should prioritize first on the very start of the game and which ones you shouldn't. Alright guys, this is the most awaited one, the tier list of gun modifications. We're gonna do this for every single one basically and get through all of them. Starting off with the silencer, it's obviously an S tier, like right off the bat. There's no arguing right there. There's no way we're putting the silencer into a D tier. Are we putting it into the D tier? No. It's gonna stay in the S tier. There you go. It's gonna be expensive to craft the silencer, but it's literally does everything you need it to do. Crit chance, crit damage, noise, and it removes a little bit of range in exchange. But the range does not matter because you will still be able to shoot far because the sight will give you range. As you can see, sight will give us a range. So in that case, let's now put the close red dot sight exactly on the S tier as well, because you can use an ability. The modification is in the game. It gives you range, and this power shot ability stops the enemy and knocks them back. It's basically, you're gonna use this ability, it's gonna use more durability as one normal Glock shot, so it's gonna use like 2-shot durability or 3-shot durability to use that power shot, and it's basically gonna cancel the zombie attack animation. It's gonna basically push it away, and you can even cancel exploders exploding with the power shot, and they will just die instead of exploding, and cancel the exploding animation. It won't basically do damage to you. Next up, let's go with the night sight. So this weapon modification isn't that bad, but I wouldn't say it's that good either. I would probably place it on a B tier because it has a con crit damage. However, it does increase the crit chances highly to the point where you could crit more, but your crit damage won't be as high as it normally would be with just basically a sight. Now let me find a sight that we have here. Hold on. There we go, this one. This crit chance, as you can see, has 2 pluses, but no crit damage minus. So, if you compare the night sight to this one, it's basically this one is just superior. And this, by the way, is the best modification compared to close red dot sight because it has better stats than the close red dot sight. So, in this case, actually, it should be this way. Like that. There you go. It should be in front. Red laser is going to be on a B tier as well. The reason for that is because green laser basically replaces the red laser. So let me just find it real quick. There it is, green laser. Look at that. The green laser gives you damage. Look at that, damage, crit chance, and range. Now this one gives you only crit chance and crit damage. However, if you don't have green laser, then you could build the red laser, but I wouldn't spend factor parts just to build this red laser. So I would call this red laser kinda garbanzo. More like actually, this could go to the C tier, I would say. But the green laser definitely deserves to go into the S tier. There you go, chat. Boom, put it in there nice and cozy. Next up, we have the extended magazine, and this actually should go in the very, very front. So let's move these away a little bit and just move this closer. There you go. This thing needs to be in the front. The reason for that is because the extended magazine should be the first priority for your Glock. It fires so fast. Now, let me show you an example, actually. If we go in game right now, this is a fully modded Glock, right? Let's remove all the modifications. Take a look how slow it shoots. Now take a look how fast it shoots with this extended magazine on it. There's a huge difference. And now if we put on even a lead shutter on it, it becomes an SMG at this point. That is why the extended magazine should be your first prioritization for the Glock. And Glock should be your first weapon to modify, by the way, because you will be using Glock so much in the game. Next thing you need to know is that the extended magazine can actually be obtained with specialist reputation. So all you need to do is just grant the specialist reputation. I have a video on how to do that. You can go watch that. But basically, once you reach the level, you will be guaranteed to get extended magazine. It does cost some factory parts, I believe, to assemble it, but it's worth it, and you should go for it first. So elite shutter is next, and this is definitely going to go into the S tier. I'm going to move that again and just basically place this right there. Boom, 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 boom. So that's what we have. This thing is sticking out a little bit. I don't like that. Get it out. This is the best Glock mods that you see on the S tier. I mean, that's all you need. Literal insanity. Now, let's go to modified shutter. I wouldn't say it's bad or good, but I will say that it gives you speed and crit damage. The durability doesn't really matter. It does add up noise, which does not matter because that's only in race. I would place this modification into the A tier. If you don't have an elite shutter, then that's a good replacement to use the modified shutter instead of the elite shutter. Next up we have is the lightweight shutter. And this lightweight shutter, it actually gives you +2 speed, which is faster than this modified shutter. It's the same as a elite shutter, which if you take a look, the elite shutter gives crit damage instead of crit chance. So if you're going for only crit chance and like crit damage, that could work, but mainly you want to do only damage and crit chance. So this modification is gonna go into the A tier as well. It is a good mod, and I would say actually it's better than the modified shutter. So the modified shutter gets to be replaced by the lightweight shutter, just like that, ladies and gents. There you have it. Now it is blocking the view a little bit, so I'm gonna just move it down. There you go. So lightweight shutter is better than the modified shutter, and if you don't have the lead shutter, then just go with the lightweight shutter. That's all you need to know. Next up is the improved shutter, and this is so far the best beginner modification because it gives you damage and it gives you speed, but you lose crit damage. However, it is still really good trade-offs because you get +2 damage. That's almost the same as a lead shutter, and you get the speed. Now, the speed is not almost noticeable. The 2 speed is not that noticeable. You will gain a little bit more speed because it's 1+. If it was +2, you will get a little bit more speed. It's not that noticeable, but however, I would choose the improved shutter any day over lightweight shutter or modified shutter. Well, if you want maximum speed, then you can go with lightweight shutter, but you will be losing damage and your Glock will shoot faster but do less damage. So this is why we're going with the improved shutter if you don't have the lead shutter. Actually, you know what? No. This improved shutter goes into the S tier. I just changed my mind. That's just how it rolls. That's how we're gonna do it. The improved shutter stays in the S tier. If you don't have a lead shutter, go with the improved shutter, man. That's just my tip. Let's move these back here. Next up is the long muzzle brake, and the long muzzle brake gives you damage, crit damage, but lose durability and make more noise. I would put this thing into the actual S tier because if you don't have the silencer, which is this mod right here, then you would want to go for the long muzzle brake. It will give you a boost of damage. And imagine you put the improved shutter, you put the long muzzle brake, then instead of crit chance and crit damage, you're going to be basically doing more damage with this muzzle brake. If I show you right now, my Glock does 21 damage right now. So put this long muzzle brake, it does exactly 23 damage, as you can see. Now, it's going to do more damage, but it's not going to do crit chances and crit damage. So it's going to kill the targets kind of slower. So it's advised still to use a silencer, obviously. Right there. But if you don't have silencer, bro, just go with this one. Next up, let's go to the lightweight magazine. This thing is Not bad, but if you don't have it, I would just place this thing into a C tier. This is like, if you don't have the extended magazine and you're like so slow on getting it, then you can build this lightweight magazine. But like, you would want to go and get the extended magazine, bro. You don't even want to waste resources on lightweight magazine. There's no point. Next up, we have a red dot sight. And since this thing does not have any cons, I'm gonna place this red dot sight into the A tier, just for the reason because if you don't have any of these sights here to use, then you can just craft a red dot sight and you will get range, crit chance, and so on. Now, of course, if you don't actually like red dot sight and you want to just basically get more crit chance and crit damage, you could go with the night sight, but I don't know with the night sight, man. I don't like when modifications give you cons and lose damage, so I would just probably go with the red dot sight instead. Next up is the whatever this thing is. Why is it flipped? I don't know. The double muzzle break. It gives you 3 crit chance, but you lose crit damage for that. I don't know about this one, really. I would place this thing into the B tier. I don't know, man. I literally don't know. We have a long muzzle break and we have a silencer. Like, if you want to take this to do more crit chances, but do less crit damage, then you can go for it. But I would never craft this thing. Also, it's very expensive to craft, so I'm placing it in a B tier just because it's so expensive to craft. It was cheap. If it was cheaper, I would probably craft it, but now it's too expensive. Muzzle break is gonna go into the Now the muzzle break, I'm gonna put it into the A tier, and the only reason I'm putting it into the A tier is because it gives 2 damage. You lose a little bit durability, which doesn't really matter. I could actually put it in the S tier, but I don't know really. Anyways, the muzzle break is good enough. If you don't have the long muzzle break, you can literally craft the muzzle break, as it's very cheap to craft. Look at the muzzle break right here. It costs 8 gun oil, 36 springs, 10 glue, 30 plates, and 2 steel. It's not that hard to craft it. It's kind of cheap, I would say. So if you don't have the long muzzle break, go for the muzzle break, man. It's gonna be fine. And last modification that we have is the crit damage and speed. Comfortable magazine. I mean, again, I'll just put this into the S tier, I would say. And yeah, you don't want to craft them. It's a waste of resources. And actually, this red laser is going to go to the D tier because I think it costs 20 factory parts to craft this red laser, and you would probably never want to waste your resources like that. Basically, you just want to go for the green laser instantly, as soon as possible. Obviously, if you don't unlock it, there's no point to craft it. The red laser is not going to help you that much anyway, so no point to craft and waste 20 factor parts just for something that's not going to help you that much. So this is the tier list that we have right here, chat. My OCD is hurting right now. I just need to do this, bro. Okay, there you go. Looks more clean now. This thing is also like sticking out. There you go, chat. There's the S tier list, basically. Best modifications for the Glock: extended magazine, elite shutter, silencer, red dot on mount, close red dot sight, green laser, improved shutter, long muzzle break. These two, if you don't have obviously the silencer, elite shutter, you put these things on. If you have them, scrap the last two ones and go with the only first 6. But yeah, that's the tier list. Hope you guys enjoyed. Now, the very last thing I want to talk about is the sights for the Glock modification weapons, like these ones. The leg shot was just basically going to slow down the boss or the enemy, while power shot actually sometimes does not work on bosses. Some bosses cannot be pushed away, while the leg shot can slow down basically everything in the game. So if you use this on an enemy, it's going to slow the enemy down for like 3 to 4 seconds. While the power shot just pushes the enemy back and boom, he's able to chase you again. So that's basically all for this video, ladies and gents. That's all I have for you today. Let me know what you want to see next for the next video. What modifications you want to see? Do you want to see Uzi? Do you want to see AK? Do you want to see M16? Do you want to see Machete? Let me know down below in the comments. Also, join my Discord and start chatting there, brother, so you can give me some ideas and share thoughts with each other. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care and peace out.